Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. So let's get into this video. So I don't know what's going on with the Montecito duo, but they're not really releasing any new things. Like I keep looking for new articles and it's the same thing. It's about Portugal, it's about American Riviera Orchard, blah, 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 blah. So I decided to look up the most controversial articles that have ever been written about Meghan Markle. And the one I found, the one that I'll talk about today, is about when she went on an interview and she compared tabloids to cigarettes in that they need a toxic warning label on them. So what I'm going to do in this video is go through that article, and then I'm going to show you the video clip, and then we'll analyze the video clip and look at Meghan's expressions and see what they mean, and see if we can tie it all back to narcissism. So this one's an old one. It's from 2021. It's titled, Meghan Markle says toxic tabloids should come with a warning label like cigarettes. Meghan Markle spoke out against tabloid media and the damaging effects it can have in a new interview. Meghan Markle is not one to mince words when it comes to her feelings about tabloids. The Duchess of Sussex didn't hold back her opinions when she appeared at the New York Times Dealbook Online Summit on Tuesday, November 9, calling tabloid media toxic for your mental health during a discussion with Andrew Ross Sorkin, the editor-at-large and founder of Dealbook, the New York Times, and Melody Hobson, the co-CEO and president of Ariel Investments. Meghan, you don't read the tabloids. How can it be toxic to you? They can't be if you're not reading them. So, yeah, please explain this discrepancy. I'm curious. Meghan's candid comment came after Sorkin asked her what it's like being a boss at the Archwell Foundation she co-founded with Prince Harry. I've read great things about you as a boss, and if you read the tabloids, you can read all sorts of crazy things about being a boss, he remarked, prompting Meghan to advise the columnist to steer clear of gossip. Well, they put this very nicely, because Meghan has been accused, or there have been stories of Meghan being a horrible boss and coworker when she was in Toronto, working on the Reitman's ad while she was in the royal family, and also just recently when the Hollywood Reporter and the Daily Beast articles came out. So this is nothing new. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's these types of allegations in 3 different countries at minimum by 3 different completely groups of people, all under different situations, and she has a different job in each one. So for Reitman's, she was a model. For in the UK, she was serving as part of the royal family, and in the United States, she is the head of, or one, the co-head, or I don't know, whatever, of Archwell. So Meghan says, well, first, I would urge you not to read tabloids because I don't think that that's healthy for anyone, she replied. Hopefully one day they will come with a warning label like cigarettes do, like this is toxic for your mental health. You know what else cigarettes do, Meghan? They're addicting, right? So not only are they toxic, but they're addicting. And I think you're addicted to the tabloids. That's what I think is going on here. You're the one that has the unhealthy relationship with what people online and in the tabloids are saying. It's just too much. And I mean, there is a part of me that empathizes with this, right? Because whenever I see negative comments on my YouTube, I mean, it is a pang, right? It is like, oh, it hurts, you know? And luckily, there's a lot more positive comments that come through, and it helps, level it all out. And a lot of the comments I get are, they vary, but there's a lot of them that are feedback. And some people give the feedback very nicely, and some people are straight to the point. And you can't read tone, right, in a message. But I have to tell you, the advice that I have gotten over the last few days, I think is helping improve my channel because I'm adding in more pictures. I changed my intro so that it's only like 10 seconds long. I'm trying to revamp my thumbnails. I mean, everything is a work of improvement, right? And here's the thing. Here's the difference between someone who is looking to improve and someone who is just dragging their feet. It is difficult to hear the feedback. It hurts. But I listen to it. I analyze it. I see if it's logistical. Could I do it? Do I think it would make an impact? And then I decide whether or not to do it. Ultimately, it's my choice, right? I think what Meghan does is just read negative, 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 not thinking what are the actions that I could do to prevent these types of comments, right? I'm curious what you all think about that. Please drop it in the comments. Okay, everyone, the time has come to jump into the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the clip all the way through. It's about 20 seconds long. And then I'll take a break, and then we'll split up the video in 3 parts, and I'll tell you what I see. And I would love it if you could drop in the comments if you see the same types of signals in her facial expressions.
I've read great things about you as a boss, and if you read the tabloids, you can read all sorts of crazy things about being a boss. Do you feel like you have to do it differently? And do you, specifically given your role, do you feel like you have to do it differently?
Well, firstly, I would urge you not to read tabloids because I don't think that's healthy for anyone. Hopefully one day they come with a warning label like cigarettes do, like this is toxic for your mental health.
Okay, so now that you saw the whole clip, I'm going to divide this up into 3 segments, and it's only the parts that Meghan is talking, and we'll talk a little bit about what I think her expressions mean and what the words she's using mean.
Well, firstly, I would urge you not to read tabloids.
The first thing that I notice is that the words she's using are a little bit condescending, like, I know more than you, trust me. I would urge you not to read them because I've experienced them and it's not, just don't do it, right? And then she closes her eyes for quite a bit, and I feel like she's trying to formulate the next sentence she's going to say. And then this is followed by a long
For anyone, hopefully one day they come with
So for this part, I don't have much to say. Unfortunately, the camera is like far from her face, so I had to zoom in, and you can't really make out her facial expressions, but it does look to me like she looks down a lot.
the warning label like cigarettes do, like this is toxic for your mental health.
So what I see is her looking down, not making eye contact. She's laughing to almost make it look like a joke, but I don't think it is, because I think that's the reason why she can't make eye contact. This is something that really, really bothers her. And then at the end, when she mentions mental health, she looks up and makes eye contact, and it seems like she's almost seeking validation or approval from whoever she's talking to. And I don't know if it's that she genuinely wants them to agree with her, or if she is checking to see if the argument that she just made or whatever she just said makes sense to them and they're in agreement with it. So if we look at this through a narcissistic lens, a strong reaction to these tabloids is likely due because there is so much criticism and scrutiny, and this really would bother someone that is really in control of their image, a narcissist allegedly, like Meghan Markle. And there's a certain way that she wants to be seen by the public, and when it's not how she wants to be seen, it really bruises her ego. Narcissistic personalities can sometimes feel threatened by narratives that they can't control, especially if it involves criticism or anything that doesn't align with their idealized self-image. By comparing the tabloids to cigarettes, Meghan is essentially saying this is dangerous for your health. What she doesn't realize is she is also saying that these are addicting. And I believe that she is addicted to them. She has to read those negative comments, and I don't know what it is with her brain chemistry that she keeps going back, because when you have an addiction, there's something that keeps pulling you back, right? There must be I mean, I don't know if the anger is like feeding her, and I'm not a therapist, so I don't know for sure. If any of you know or can explain like why she would want this addiction that ends up causing her pain, please feel free to drop it in the comments. At the same time, this reaction could be hinting at her unwillingness to accept or deal with public criticism, and we know that this is the case with Meghan. Narcissistic personalities often react strongly to narratives that they can't fully control or influence. Sometimes, when someone says this is toxic, it can sometimes mean this isn't telling the story that I want it to. Now, going back to that toxic label, this might reflect her discomfort with anything that doesn't fit her narrative of resilience, elegance, or success, and also her discomfort of any public criticism. It could mean that she feels others need to avoid content that doesn't show her in the right light. And this is where all of these censorship things are coming from. This is the root issue. This is the reason why we hear Harry say that the First Amendment is bonkers. This is why Archwell is so involved in spreading this online safety. The root of that is to control how people are talking. Like, don't be disillusioned that this is about online safety for children. It's not. It's a slippery slope. This is to try to silence people because one person gets hurt when she reads a negative comment about herself. And if that's not a true reflection of a narcissist, that she wants the whole world to have duct tape on their mouth because she doesn't want to read a negative comment about her, that's it. And don't get me wrong, it's really hard to see negative comments about yourself, okay? Meghan might be facing real pressure from the tabloids, but when someone continuously frames themselves as the victim of these outside forces, it can then lead to this us versus them narrative. And I said in a previous video about how this us versus them narrative is critical for Meghan's control of Harry. I believe I talked about it in my Halloween video where the news was coming out about how Harry and Meghan were dating, and their dynamic turned into it's us against the world. And that's a manipulative tactic designed to create stronger bonds where they wouldn't exist normally because there hasn't been that much time to build those kinds of bonds. I will link that video in the comments. So again, Meghan could also be using this like victim mindset or mentality to build empathy, encourage loyalty, and alienate critics. All tactics that are seen in certain personality types, if you know what I mean. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. Why am I staying anonymous? It's because of this piece about alienating critics. What happens, and you guys have all seen it, the Sussex Squad is out there and they're bullying us for expressing our opinions. And, you know, a lot of the things that they say are brutal, and they sometimes try to infiltrate your personal life, right? And I don't want my personal life thrown, into chaos just because I'm expressing my opinion. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I'm curious to know what you all think about this. Please like and subscribe if this was interesting to you. Please share this content. It goes a long way in promoting my video. And I am really thankful that you stayed till the end. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you all soon. Goodbye.